I never really thought of myself as a performer really, and I never really got why people did it. And I think you work so much out when you're performing. There are these kind of rare moments where everything just kind of makes sense and you don't actually have to consider anything, and things just kind of seem to fall into place.
Do you see yourself as a performer now?
I think so. I mean, I don't know what else I'm doing. It must be performing of some kind. But I've also sort of realised that it's going to sound so pretentious, but it's basically, it's kind of like a version of what you're doing in real life anyway. I think all the world's a stage and all that. Well, I always say to people that unless you've grown up in Swansea, it's probably a bit of a dive. But I have such a deep affection for it, really.
Is that nostalgia, or is that something?
I don't know. I think it's because there's so much. I feel personally that there's so much kind of mythology around it that it kind of has its own myths. The people are so strange. The people are so weird, and you just don't meet people like that anywhere else. The sort of conversations you overhear, and you just think, God, these are a very kind of mystical breed of people. And the beauty of it is that they don't even know, I think. They don't realise it. I can remember the first time getting on stage was absolutely terrifying. I wasn't very good at the start, and it was really scary. But it was probably the single most sort of life-changing experience. I can remember thinking at the time, like, this is like nothing I've ever felt before. It was like an incredible. It was terror, but it was also like euphoria and control and then just pure joy. And it was really, really great. And every time I play since then, it's never been quite the same. But you get glimpses of that moment. That first time you go on stage is like earth-shattering. It just kind of changes you, I think. But
it's like a high though, isn't it?
Yeah, no, yeah, it is like a drug. Yeah, it is. It's like you're just a completely different person when you're on stage. You just feel like time kind of stops, and you have control of everything you're doing. And all the normal things in the world just kind of stop existing, and you're in this crazy bubble where you're just playing your music and you're just existing in that song, and it's just fantastic. We're not particularly. I don't think we're particularly rebellious people. We're not punks really. But there's definitely a sense that everything we write is got to be kind of, we don't want to get stuck in a rut. You do get in ruts where you kind of, sort of creatively, where you're sort of not sure about the direction you're going in. But I suppose a lot of it is just about making new music all the time. And we've got into a rhythm of doing that recently, where a lot of our stuff is different. Kind of each song we write is kind of different to the last. And I suppose the rebellion is sort of towards ourselves more than anyone else. It's like, can we beat ourselves? Can we beat the last song we wrote? Can we sort of one-up ourselves? And that's a challenge, and that's really exciting when you kind of think you've done that. People are very flexible. I think people are natural actors, and I think actually Swansea people have a particular kind of performance. I think performance can mean so many different things, and it can be different depending on where you are and who you're with, what age you are, what gender you are. Everything is so fluid like that. Performance isn't confined to the stage, I think is what I'm trying to say. Performance isn't confined to the stage. It's something, something that happens, in the wings, and in the pit, and in the bar afterwards, and on the street outside. There's so much drama everywhere, and I think maybe the best kind of performance is when people don't even realise they're performing. So maybe that's the opposite performance. Who knows? But I think there's a bit of truth in that. In the 5 years or so that we've been playing in Swansea, there's never been so many bands playing, and so many things going on all the time, and also bands going elsewhere and doing stuff all the time. So the scene in Swansea is kind of just going from strength to strength. And one thing that we've noticed, I mean, like bands like Buzzard coming from Cardiff, you know, they're a big Cardiff band. They're big over the UK, and you know, they're playing in a place like the Brangwyn Hall, and you know, and this is the first time they've played there. And you've got bigger and bigger bands coming here, and lots of Cardiff bands coming here. And not only is there is a great community within Swansea, but you know, Swansea and the wider Welsh scene and the wider UK scene. And that's something that we've been able to see develop. You know, it's happened kind of sporadically over the last 5 years, but I think now it's actually having some kind of consistency, which is really exciting.
So what does the stage enable you to do?
Well, I suppose maybe the stage enables you to perform in a way that you can't in real life, maybe. Or if you know, it gives you much more freedom to express something that even you can't really comprehend when you're kind of going about daily life. I think that's what it is. The stage is somewhere very safe. You know, if you make it your own, if you go up there and you're confident, then you can really turn it into something powerful, because you can do things up there that you can never really get the chance to do elsewhere.